Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaim here, and today I'm bringing you my team preparation video for week 2 of the UCL. Now, much like last week, this will be my already finished team right here, and I'll be going over why I picked every single member, how I think they're going to work, and again, like every week of the UCL, even though this is only week 2, my main goal is to build a team of 6 that can take on any combination of 6 that Patters wants to bring. Now, we are facing the Newcastle Nidokings, who are coached by, like I said, Patters or Daniel, and his team is Scrafty, Sigalith, Magneton, Lilligant, Miss Magius, Armaldo, Mega Venusaur, or regular Venusaur, whatever he wants to use, Slowbro, Staraptor, Arcanine, Nidoqueen, and Haxorus. So my goal, as usual, throughout the entire season 1 of UCL, and if I'm back for season 2, is to basically just make a combination of 6 that can deal with every single member that he wants to throw at me. So I've already created the team, and if you actually want to see anything Bronx Beartic related, because I am the head coach of the Bronx Beartics, oof, ice. My flow is sicker than a club chew. Ay. But the playlist will be down below. There's a link to that playlist down below, which shows every single video so far. It should have my week 1 battle as well as my week 1 preparation video. Anything regarding the UCL, if you have no idea what it is, that will be down below as well in that playlist, as well as the official Twitter of the UCL if you want to, follow that and keep track of things, all things UCL. So when I first saw Patter's team, I noticed that his main form, if not his only form of hazard removal, though, is Rapid Spin in Armaldo. Now, Staraptor does get defog. I'm going to keep that in mind, but it doesn't commonly run it. Though in this format, I guess you could run whatever you want as long as it does well versus your opponent. Though I'm really expecting if he does want to bring a spinner or a way of hazard control versus me, it would be Armaldo. Now, knowing that, I figured my best bet, especially because a lot of his team is grounded, and on top of that, the ones that are not grounded are they take Stealth Rock, of course, and they don't appreciate hazard damage because any form of hazard damage is really nice versus his team. It actually secures some KOs, and as we go into this team building video, I'll explain that more. But I decided that I would bring hazards to this battle. My week 1 match versus Mo, I didn't really bring any hazard bar Stealth Rock, so I left my Spiker at home. But this time we're going to be taking out a Selgor, and I really just wanted the fast spiking set, but also the sort of spin blocking set because it does have Final Gambit. Now, with max HP, I actually have more HP than his Armaldo, meaning that if I get up a spike and I am at full and he switches into Armaldo, not only can I knock him out with Final Gambit, but let's say I was at 1 HP, and he brought out Armaldo, and obviously he could go for the Rapid Spin and knock me out. If he did choose to do that, I could actually go for Final Gambit in that turn anyway, regardless of having 1 HP, and it's not in a sense to get rid of the Armaldo, because obviously I'll only be doing 1 damage since Final Gambit is equal to my max HP, or the HP that I'm currently at. But I would be spin blocking his Rapid Spin because my Selgor would basically be sacrificing itself. It would be spin blocking. So I went with the standard, sorry, my chair is like very noisy. I went with the standard Spikes, Final Gambit, Encore, and Bug Buzz set. I felt that Bug Buzz was really good versus his team because Bug actually hits everything for neutral bar, Arcanine, Staraptor, and Nidoqueen, but those of course I could either Final Gambit or just Spike on, and I thought that it was just very solid. And obviously this thing's main function is not to attack, but to get up hazards and to make my opponent not be able to abuse or not be able to spin rather. So that's why I have a Selgor on the team. It is the standard Focus Sash variant. The cool thing about Unburden is if they break my Sash and they're like say a Dragon Dance Haxorus or something, which is actually a pretty big threat that my opponent does have, especially because I don't have a Fairy type. Now if they are a Dragon Dance do I even have a Steel type on my team? I don't even think I have a Steel type on my team. I do have Cobalion. But even if they break my Sash, let's say that I would actually be able to outspeed them, and maybe I can get off Bug Buzz, get off a bit of prior damage, or get up a Last Ditch Spike, or something like that. But that's why I definitely wanted a Selgor on the team. Spikes are very crucial in this game. They do ensure some KOs, and like I said, I will be talking about why they do. Now, I did bring back Manaphy for week 2, the Beartics mascot, even though the Beartics mascot is Beartics, but is a Beartic, but I like Manaphy. I always nickname it after Beartic. But this time we're using a more offensive variant than last week. Last week I used a Rain Dance Scald Rest Calm Mind variant, which it didn't do too much in the game, mostly because I was playing the game really safe, because I wanted to win. Spoilers, if you didn't watch that game, I'm not going to say what happened, but I feel I did play that game really well. But I wanted to bring a more offensive variant simply because base 100 Manaphy actually outspeeds or speed ties with his entire team. Staraptor speed ties at worst, and that's about it. Miss Magius does outspeed me, but I can take a hit from it. And Magneton is honestly one of those Scarfers that I was really worried about. Not really worried about, but one of those potential Scarfers that you can have besides Staraptor. I decided on max speed. At first, originally, when I was discussing with my boy Jamvad when we were building, I was like, you know, maybe we can go just enough speed for Sigilyph or Arcanine or Haxorus or something like that. But then we figured there's no real point in doing that. You don't want to lose a game just because you couldn't win a potential speed tie versus a Staraptor, because Staraptor also has base 100 speed just like Manaphy, and you don't want to lose a game because of that. So I'd rather just go max speed. The set I actually decided on running. Now it's very this is one of the reasons why I really loved Manaphy in this format and why I picked Manaphy. Manaphy is just so good when you know what your opponent can bring. Honestly, my opponent's water resist consists of Venusaur and Slowbro. Both of which can be torn apart by coverage moves. I actually chose Shadow Ball and Psychic as my two coverage moves, Surf and Tail Glow. Now, I will be explaining my spread and also why I picked those. Now, Shadow Ball is because I was going to pick Energy Ball just for Slowbro, but there's no real reason in picking Energy Ball when Shadow Ball actually hits Slowbro for the same base power, as well as hitting Sigilyph, as well as hitting Miss Magius. Now, granted, Surf is also mighty strong versus those Pokemon anyway, but it just hits a lot more on his team. Why just have a wasted move slot in Energy Ball? For example, as well, it could be the difference between knocking out a Venusaur because it switches in on my Shadow Ball and then I can knock it out with Psychic, or maybe I would get off not enough damage with Energy Ball, and then Venusaur would be able to live the Psychic and do hefty chunk to me with like Giga Drain or something like that. But I also decided on Psychic in this game simply because Mega Venusaur is his main check of stopping. Is his main way of stopping Manaphy. Now, I was debating between Ice Beam or Psychic. I honestly decided on Psychic because with one Spike Up, I knock out Venusaur 100%, even if it's max HP, and I also knock out Haxorus. And Haxorus is one of those Pokemon that, probably the only Pokemon on this team that would actually have Ice Beam for. I don't expect him to bring Lilligant just because Mega Venusaur is actually pretty good versus me, though I do have a Tornadus and he knows that. He knows that, but I do have Manaphy as well, which is why I'm expecting him to bring Mega Venusaur. And the whole entire goal of this team is actually for a Manaphy sweep. Manaphy can plow through his team. I have Wakandberry just in case he decides to bring Choice Scarf. Magneton and tries to Thunderbolt me, though I do obviously have a Dugtrio right here as well as a Rhydon, so it's going to be some mind games right there. But Wakandberry just to be safe. It also lets me set up, let's say his last Pokemon is his last two Pokemon are Arcanine and Venusaur, for example, and he has Arcanine out, and Arcanine's about to die to Recoil, and I have my last Pokemon's Manaphy. Manaphy's near full. That Wakandberry will be the difference in winning the game. I can Tail Glow up on his Wild Charge, he kills himself to Recoil, and then I knock out his Mega Venusaur with Psychic. So it's just like stuff like that. Wakandberry I feel was just a lot more helpful in this game, and I chose this spread because this is the spread I need that will give me bulk, but also with 200 EVs and special attack at +3, all I need is a Spike, one little Spike, or even Stealth Rock, just to OHKO Venusaur 100%. 100% Venusaur goes down, Haxorus goes down 100% with a Spike Up at +3 Psychic, and Slowbro already dies to +3 Energy Ball, but that's about it. And the difference between Surf and Scald is because I want Manaphy to be the Pokemon that wins the game. I don't want to bring it in and just spam Scald trying to get burns. I'm not trying to get burns, I'm trying to win, you feel me? So Surf is a lot stronger, especially +3 Surf with Hazards up. I can OHKO the majority of his team, so that's why I wanted Manaphy, and this is why the team is based around Manaphy. Now, Rhydon was actually my next pick. Originally I had Cobalion on this set, but I felt that with Cobalion and Cobalion would be my Stealth Rocker, I would be a little bit... When the team was being constructed, originally I had Cobalion and Weavile, and I just was really paranoid and scared of a few Pokemon that he could attack me with. Like, he could really pressure me. For example, that Arcanine could really pressure me had I brought Cobalion over Rhydon, which is why I wanted Rhydon. This Rhydon's purpose is basically to sponge hits from a potential Staraptor, as well as Arcanine, as well as Haxorus, which is actually the most threatening member to my team, in my honest opinion. I do not have a Fairy type on my team. We already knew that from the draft. I didn't get a Fairy type. Maybe I can hopefully trade for something, but that's going to be hard because when you trade a Pokemon in the UCL, you're not allowed to trade back with that person for about 2 weeks. So I would be going into week 2 with a Pokemon that I traded from somebody. Let's say I traded Gramble with Shady, because I was actually debating trading Gramble with Shady, but then I was like, never mind, bro. I don't want to take away Gramble for you for almost 3 weeks, and maybe that'll mess you up, because I was looking at not only my matchups for the next couple of weeks, but also his matchup. So, trying to be a friend right there, but also trying to be competitive and look out for myself as well as him. I actually decided that I had to bring Rhydon. Rhydon gives me a nice check. It's really bulky with the Eviolite. This is my Stealth Rocker as well as an Earthquake Stone Edger. Punishes Staraptor, punishes Miss Magius with Stone Edge. It's actually really strong. All my Pokemon are at level 50 if you couldn't tell, just because this is the way I'm going to be playing. They're going to be at level 50, so no point in putting them at level 100. And my little surprise, which is Avalanche. Now, I am adamant with 0 attack investment. The reason for that is that with Stealth Rock up or 1 Spike, this thing can revenge kill Haxorus. I can actually switch into Haxorus on a Dragon Dance or something like that, and then go for Avalanche after it hits me. Avalanche is hella strong, and its power doubles if I'm damaged by the opponent. So I'll be 120 base power Ice type attack. It actually does 88 to 1 something to Haxorus. So with Stealth Rock up with Spike, 100% KOs, and Haxorus is not going to be coming in. Like if I have no hazards up on the field and Haxorus comes in, I know to do damage to him. And I gave it 56 speed because I wanted to be able to outspeed 0 speed Almaldo, since that's the most common set. It doesn't really run speed, or even if it has 4 speed, I do outspeed it by 1 point. So I want to be able to outspeed that, also to sort of spin block as well, because with Stealth Rock up and Almaldo comes in, I can knock it out with Stone Edge, even the most defensive variants, just because Rhydon is very bulky, or strong as well. It's both. Though its ability is lacking in Lightning Rod, I wish it had Solid Rock. That would be so sick on Rhydon. With Violite, that thing would be nasty as hell. But this will have to do, and Rhydon just gives me a nice check to his physical attackers like Staraptor, Arcanine, Haxorus, and mainly for those. I didn't want Cobalion because I needed something that could switch into fire types, and I didn't want my Manaphy switching into fire types like Arcanine, because Manaphy is my main way of sweeping, as I said. So next up, I wanted something. This is going to be a staple in a lot of my teams, much like Manaphy. Tornadus Therian form, Big Bird actually puts the entire team on its back. With an Assault Vest and Regenerator, it can repeatedly switch into special attackers such as Venusaur, such as Sigilyph, such as even Magneton, for example. I could take a hit from it. I can knock it off. Miss Magius, I take any hits from. I take hits for days. And also Nidoking. Nidoking was looking like a threat, and I wanted to be able to knock it off. U-turn, and my spread is just enough to outspeed Scrafty at +1 with Jolly Nature, because he actually does not have that fast of a team. So I decided that I would give enough speed just to outspeed Scrafty at +1, since that could be a bit of a threat to my team. And I wanted Hurricane and Air Slash just because there's no real point. All I needed for this game was Knock Off, U-turn, and then Flying Stab. There was no real point in using a fighting type move, because the Pokemon that would hit super effectively, like Scrafty, already take a hell of a lot from Hurricane. After Hurricane does like 80 something min, so I believe with Spike it knocks it out, or even it does more than that. I think it does like maybe like 90 something min to max HP, max 0 bulk Scrafty, just max attack, max speed. So, and also if I'm in a situation where I don't need to risk a Hurricane, Air Slash also can miss, but it is 95% accurate versus 70% accurate. So definitely a good option for me. And the rest was just put in bulk. This allows me to take hits from Magneton as well as any of his Pokemon, really though. And my next pick, I actually decided on my Jamvads, Dugtrio. Now similarly to Tornadus, this Dugtrio is actually just EV'd to outspeed. It only needed speed for +1 Scrafty, I feel, just in case maybe I go for Air Slash as opposed to going for Hurricane. Maybe he banks on the miss and he knocks me out. Dugtrio can just come in and revenge kill. Though Rhydon could do the same. It would eat up a Drain Punch at +1 anyway. High Jump Kick could be a little scary though. But Dugtrio's main goal is not... Whenever you have Dugtrio on your team, it forces your opponent to play a different way. For example, if Magneton comes in and it is choiced, and I bring out my Tornadus, chances are he's not going to go for Thunderbolt, because, or if my Tornadus is on the field, chances are, or even my Manaphy, although I do have Wakon Berry and I do have an Assault Vest and I can eat up any hit, chances are he's not going to go for an electric type move, just because I do have Dugtrio on the back. And Dugtrio's main purpose is just to hit really hard. It can trap Nidoqueen with a bit of prior damage. It actually hits super hard. Haxorus, a lot of his team, Magneton gets trapped, Scrafty, even Venusaur I can weaken it a bit, but one of its main goals is not only to pick off weakened mons, because Choice Band and Duck Show, though it may look weak, it actually hits pretty hard with a bunch of hazards on the field. It's also to set up room for either my Manaphy sweep or for my Reuniclus to clean up the game, which is my last member. I do have Memento on this thing. Stone Edge is just in case I want to hit his Staraptor if I need to and he's not Scarf. Also hit Sigilyph for super effective damage. And then the Night Slash, I really was debating between Pursuit. Pursuit would only hit Mismagius, of course, because Mismagius could switch out, but I felt if I had Pursuit, I would make an unnecessary play and go for Pursuit, and what if he stayed and I lost my Duck Trio? I feel like Night Slash was the better option. It also just hits Slowbro for a good amount, not going to say good, Duck Trio is really weak, but it does hit Slowbro for super effective damage. And the main function of this thing is either to Earthquake stuff, trap things because of Arena Trap, they cannot switch out unless they are flying or have Levitate, and also use Memento and set up opportunities for either my Manaphy to sweep or for my Reuniclus. And Reuniclus is actually the glue and the last member of this team. Now, the team was based around a Manaphy sweep, but if you actually look at my opponent's team, Trick Room Reuniclus, offensive Trick Room Reuniclus, OTR Reuniclus destroys his team. With Stealth Rock up, or even a Spike up, everything on his team dies to a Psychic, a Shadow Ball, a Focus Blast, and yeah, it is the slowest member I have. I outslow everything on his team, so that means I outspeed everything on his team in Trick Room, and I actually OHKO everything with either Focus Blast, Psychic, or Shadow Ball. Now, I didn't want the team to be based around Reuniclus, simply because I don't want to have to bank on Focus Blast for his Scrafty. I'm kind of anticipating him to want to bring Scrafty. But Manaphy, with the team support, I'm pretty sure that I will do really well with this Reuniclus. This will be more of like a last-ditch effort type of thing to, excuse me while I move my desk and all this. You hear all this. But this was more like a way just to plow through his team. Again, just abusing those hazards. So my main goal going into this game is actually just to abuse my hazards, my spikes, hit them hard with my Manaphy or my Reuniclus, or even just set up for a late-game Manaphy sweep. Just find a way... figure out that I'll find a way that Haxorus does not sweep me. Make sure my hazards are kept on the field. If he does not bring Armaldo or Staraptor, that would be amazing. That means my spikes and Stealth Rock will be there to stay, and my entire game plan will be just to get up all those hazards. So definitely going to be a fun game that I am looking forward to with Patters of the Newcastle Nidokings. And I think that is about it. Trick Room only benefits really my Reuniclus, but it also can help out my Rhydon, who even without any attack investment can also hit him pretty hard, stopping these Pokemon right here and just doing some work. And Tornadus also covers Lilligant, though I'm not anticipating him to bring Lilligant just because he could bring Mega Venusaur. And why would you bring two grass types like that? So I feel like he would be better for his team that he doesn't. But what I do expect him to bring is probably Haxorus, Nidoqueen, Arcanine, Venusaur, Slowbro, things like that. Those are what I do expect him to bring. But I feel like my team can definitely cover the majority of his team. Combine that with playing well, because I have to try and play well. I try and play my best, and even a bit of luck, who knows. But it should be a good game, and I'm pretty confident that the Beartics can take, hopefully, another victory. Obviously, I joined this league so I can win. I mean, it's fun, but I want to win, which is why I'm putting in all this effort. But yeah, that's basically going to be it. Honestly, some of these bulks don't really matter. I just felt like there was no point in putting max speed on Dugtrio because this outspeeds everything on his team, and just put the rest in HP. Maybe that'll be the difference between living a Sludge Wave from Nidoqueen and not living a Sludge Wave from Nidoqueen. But yeah, that's basically going to be it, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. Feel free to leave a like if you did. The battle for this will actually be going up tomorrow. I will be playing him earlier in the week, of course. This goes up Friday at probably 4 p.m. Eastern. Stay tuned for this, of course. Stay tuned for that battle. And, you know, hope you guys all enjoyed. Until next time, guys, later.